All right, so we are live. A very good evening, everyone. I hope everybody is doing fine. I would want to welcome you all to yet another episode of Big Bull Ki Pathshala. We have a very interesting topic to discuss today. As you can see, it says IIM for law aspirants. So you must be very confused. IIM is for management, and we're talking about law. How are they related? So we have something very important to discuss with you all today, a very important course to discuss with you all today. And we have a very special guest to do that. But before I invite her over and we begin with the discussion, let's have a little general talk, right? So as we all know that the board exams for the 12th standard has begun. For some they have begun, for some they'll begin shortly. So first of all the best to all of you. You need to take your boards very seriously because they will be the deciding factor. The scores that you get in your boards will be in a way a deciding factor for your future, for the stream that you would choose further. So all the very best for that. This particular week, as well as the previous week, has been very active on the front of the various entrances at the undergraduate level. This week itself, the notifications for CUET 23 came out. The applications have begun for the same, right? The applications began from 9th of Feb, and the last date to register yourself for CUET 23 is going to be 12th of March. So for the people who do not know, CUET is an entrance test to get admissions into all the central universities as well as to colleges affiliated to Delhi University for the various undergraduate programs. The exam for CUET is set to take place from 21st of May onwards. So as we all know from the previous year's CUET exam that it tends to take place, 5-6 days in altogether. So it is set to begin from 21st of May and is expected to continue till 31st of May. So it will be taking place in these 10 days. So if you have not yet registered yourself or filled in the application for CUET 23, please make sure that you go ahead and do it now. It's very, very important. If you are targeting the various colleges under the branch of Delhi University and of course other central universities. Of course, we also saw the notification for IPMAT. As we all know that there are two different exams conducted by IPMAT for the IPM program, that is Integrated Program in Management. First is by IIM Indore and the second is by IIM Rohtak. So the exam date for IIM Indore has come out and the exam is set to take place on 16th of June. Let me remind you that the applications have not yet begun. The registrations have not yet begun. It is just the exam date that has come out. That is 16th of June. We are expecting the registrations to begin shortly. Next is IIM Rohtak. So as we all know, IIM Rohtak also offers an IPMAT program, Integrated Program in Management. So the registrations for the same have begun and the registrations will be taking place from 6th of February till 10th of April. So 10th of April is going to be the last date for you to register yourself for IPMAT Rohtak exam. The exam, however, is set to take place on 20th of May. So these are some of the very important undergraduate management entrance tests that you should be targeting. Now, talking about the agenda today. So talking about IIM Rohtak has recently introduced an integrated program in law, also called IPL, not the cricket one, the one with the law. So our today's session is going to be entirely dedicated on IPL, what IPL is, what is the eligibility criteria, what is the exam that you're supposed to take, which IIM is offering or which all IIMs are offering the IPL course. How is it different from other conventional law entrances and a lot of other such queries. So in case you are somebody who is hearing about this exam for the very first time, please make sure that you put in your queries in the comment section and we will help you out with it to our best possibility. Apart from that, if you have any queries about IPMAT, about GIPMAT, about CUET, please feel free to share them as well. So without any further ado, let me introduce the very special guest for the evening, Ms. Tamoshi. Hello, ma'am. Welcome to the session yet again.
Yes, good evening to everyone and thank you, Vagisha ma'am, for your warm words. So it's always a privilege to come forward and to discuss with you.
Right. So how are you, ma'am? Where are you speaking from right now?
Okay, so I'm fine. I'm connected to you from all the way from Mumbai. Everything is all set.
Right, right. How's the weather in Mumbai, by the way?
It's pleasant right now. So, but it's
Right.
going to be very hot that we can feel.
I just started to get hot here also in Mohali itself. It's not that cold as it used to be. All right. So we're talking about something very interesting, ma'am. Is the topic is IIM for law aspirants. We're talking about IPL. So if we are supposed to like just give a brief about the course, could you please do that? Like let's say that we're telling the students for the very first time about IPL. So how would you put it forward?
Okay, so if I talk about IPL, very nicely said that it's not the IPL that we have heard for so long, right?
Yeah.
So first thing that comes to our mind will be definitely IPM, right? Now the first point that we need to understand why IPM, why we offer IPM, right? So definitely IPM is something that everybody's looking for, and not only for your placement, not only for the job generation part, many other things are into it. What is the process? The process combines your leadership skill. The process combines your dual integrity course, right? That means dual degree.
Mm-hmm.
Next is practical knowledge, innovation,
Right.
and the options, as well as the latest trend.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we go for IPM.
Mm-hmm.
So for IPM, it was always like till now, management. After plus two, one shot, you get admission. But this time, we are very much privileged that IIM has come forward with this beautiful integrated course with the law subject, right? So that
Mm-hmm. Right.
means a person who is opting for BBA can also have
Mm-hmm.
holistic idea about the law part. So
Right.
BBA LLB degree, if I put it in that way. Now the
Right.
question is, why all of a sudden this thought is there? Because something like IIM, an institution like IIM coming forward with such kind of thought. The reason is it's not one day's plan. It's a
Mm-hmm.
research that they have done. And if you have noted in the first point, I only said that
Mm-hmm.
it's about learning the latest trend. That's why we look for IIM.
Right.
So when we are completing the managerial skills, till now,
Mm-hmm.
we are
Mm-hmm.
very much aware, we are having a holistic development about all the skill set. But right now, in this particular genre, legal part plays a very important role. If I look for the corporates, if I
Right.
look for the NGOs, if I look for entrepreneurship, everywhere, the word
Right.
legal plays a very vital role. So
Right.
that's why they have come forward with this integrated program where a person will be able to have a holistic idea about the business administration, definitely along with that legal part. So that's how IPL is into the frame.
Right. So legal is no more confined to just the courtrooms. It has made its way to the corporate world as well, right? Gone are the
Absolutely,
days of the
absolutely,
order, and my lord. Now it is the
absolutely.
corporate. Right. So IPL, ma'am, first of all, let's begin with which IM is offering the IPL course, or are there other IMs associated with it as well?
I think you have only answered. So it's only one IIM who has come forward with that, and that is definitely IIM Rohtak, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the
Mm-hmm.
purpose is, again, if I put it in one line, it will be the depth knowledge of business management as
Right.
well as the details of the law part.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we can frame law and
Right.
governance
Right.
to some degree, we can say.
Right. So, ma'am, at an undergraduate level, if I talk about, there are other entrance tests for law as well. For example, we have CLAT, we have ALET for the NLUs. So, how is IPL going to be different from these conventional law exams that we usually, entrances that we usually have?
See, the traditional ones are not going anywhere. But as I said, that
Mm-hmm.
this will be a integrated and dual degree where a person is understanding the world of business as well as
Mm-hmm.
the person is going to understand the world of legal, right? Or laws,
Right.
if I say, right?
Right.
Like if you consider the main forte on which this particular course is focusing right now, it will be including public policy. It will be
Mm-hmm.
subjects of humanities. Humanities means political science, philosophy, to some extent, there it is included. Then there will be information, affairs, right? Foreign
Mm-hmm.
language. So it will be a
Mm-hmm.
holistic course where you can have tests of various other subjects which are very much important right now, standing
Mm-hmm.
in this modern century.
Right. So, ma'am, to get into this program, that is IPL, Integrated Program in Law, what are the ways in which an aspirant can get admission into this integrated course?
Absolutely. So the first criteria that we have to keep in mind, that is 60% for class 10 and 12. I think the last
Mhm.
time we had a discussion that
Yeah,
why boards are important. So this time we have
yeah,
justified that why the percentage is important, right? So
right,
60% is one important criteria. That means they are
Mhm.
taking care of the academics.
Right.
Definitely, then there will be the entrance test or the written test that they have to clear. And one
Mhm.
more additional round will be there, that is personal interview. So
Right.
composite score of all these rounds will be considered to get into this particular course.
Right, definitely. So there are two ways in which you can get admission to this program of IIM Rohtak. First is, of course, through your CLAT score. CLAT exam has already taken place for 23. So your CLAT score is the one way in which you can get admission to this integrated course. The second is if you appear for the IPMAT Rohtak exam, the notifications for which are already out, the registrations for which are already opened. So these are the two windows through which you can get admissions. So also the registration date for the both of these will be different. So if you're somebody who wants to register yourself for this particular course through your CLAT 23 score, the registrations would be till 20th of April. So the registrations are already open. The last date for you to register through your CLAT 23 score will be 20th April. But if you're somebody who did not, for XYZ reason, appear for the CLAT exam, don't lose hope. You can appear or you can get yourself registered through the IPMAT exam also. And like I said, the IPMAT registrations are already open from 6th Feb till 10th of April. So you can register yourself, you can appear for the IPMAT exam, and then you can go ahead and get admissions. So I'm talking about the IPMAT exam. What is the difference? Because of course the IPMAT exam for the management students and for the law students are taking place at the same time. So is there
Hmm.
any difference in the syllabus?
So one particular thing that will be added over here, that is legal reasoning, right? So
Mm-hmm.
quant, logical reasoning, verbal ability, it's definitely there. But along with that, one more section will be there, that is legal reasoning. That means students right now have to focus on the legal reasoning part, right? That's how I can say, or I can make a difference between the two.
Right. So very significant, a very logical difference really that you just have to appear for an additional section that is legal reasoning. So I can understand because all the students will be appearing for this exam as somebody who are in their 12th standard appearing for their board exams, and they might not necessarily have studied legal reasoning before. So ma'am, what would be, are there certain tips that you can share for the students how to prepare for the legal reasoning section? Because we know
See,
that there, yeah.
so first pointer is, if you have knack for something, it is nothing like alien subject will be there, how I will be handling. Right
Right.
now, people and students right now, they're very wise, they're assertive,
Mhm.
and they know what they need to do and how the things has to be managed. So I'm
Right.
sure they have already started with the process. The very basic thing that they have to do, and they are doing, I'm sure, that is they are taking care of the legal news that is
Mhm.
happening, right? Maybe related
Mm.
with government. That means they have to be very much aware about the general knowledge, if I say,
Right.
right? They
Right.
can
Right.
read some basic books, right? They can check out some interviews, some videos. They can work on the basic terminologies that are related with the legal world. And that's how I think they can take the challenge of managing this section. But if suppose they're not into the process, their fundamentals are not up to that mark, that they don't understand what is
Mhm.
mootness, right? If they don't know, right? Or what
Mhm.
is PIL. So
Mhm.
that's how they can manage, and that's how I'm sure they're working already on it.
Right, definitely. Because apart from maths and English, even logical reasoning is new for these students, so is legal reasoning. So, of course, like I tend to get a lot of queries from the students that, ma'am, I want to pursue law. So, what are those characteristics or traits that I should have, to pursue a career in law? So, the most basic thing that we tell them is reading, because reading is extremely important for somebody who wants to pursue a career in law because you have a lot of content to read. So this would be a good start that you inculcate a reading habit, and I think it will also help them with the logical reasoning as well as the English section, because both of these have longer, questions like passages and everything. So I think it will be helpful for that as well, right?
Absolutely. Because why we read, again, I will put that point that reading is somewhere not only to enhance our knowledge. Reading right now is a means of understanding what the other person is thinking. We are
Absolutely.
stretching ourselves, right? We are focusing ourselves, we are stretching ourselves to go in that zone, what the other person is thinking about. That's why reading is very important. That means reading helps not only to work on your linguistic skills, it helps you to work on your logical skill. It helps to work on your aptitude skill, to think out of the box, opinion formation. Everything comes from reading. That's why
Absolutely.
professionals are also into the reading part. They have not said, okay, Tata Alvida, we are professional, we will not read, right? So this is something, it's a lifelong habit that you have to inculcate.
Right. Most definitely, most definitely. So now let's talk about the other three sections apart from legal. We have maths. So I feel an additional change that we have with the IPM or the IPMAT and the GIPMAT exams is that you get higher maths. That means you get your maths from the 11th and 12th class. However, for CUET or for other management exams, either for Symbiosis or Nasi Munchi, we do not have higher maths. So for students who did not have maths in your 11th and 12th class, you will have to study higher math a little bit there. So talking about English, again, in English, the general questions we have paragraphs, we have RCs, and then other verbal related questions, so which would require your aptitude for grammar, which would require your aptitude for again reading and everything. Logical reasoning includes coding, decoding, and everything. So again, one thing that you need to keep in mind is that this exam has negative marking, right? You also have sectional cutoffs as well as sectional timings. So ma'am, any tips as to how they can handle the negative marking aspect of the exam?
So to handle the negative marking, definitely they have to work on their accuracy. And that is what should be the basic funda. When they are very near to the examination, they should go for more mocks. And holistically, those analysis has to be done.
Right.
Sectional topic wise they should definitely they should opt for it, because that will help them to improve their mocks. And when mocks are improved, definitely actual exam, they're going to just make it to something else. Right. So
Right.
again, every steps are very vital. So first I have to be aware about the concept, the fundamentals, whether there I have not studied maths, maybe I have to take the challenge of higher maths, but till 10 I have it. So that's a base. So I'm very good with the base. Like if I talk about the quant section, how to do well in quant section. If you're good with the calculation speed, if you're good with the formula, square roots, cube roots, tables, automatically your calculation speed will increase. And when your calculation speed increase, that means your accuracy will also increase along with that. And when both the combos are happening, a person will do well in the quant section. But a person is not doing anything, is not working on the calculation speed, he's not aware about the tables, he cannot pick up the tables, square roots easily, then it will become difficult.
Definitely.
Same goes with verbal. Same goes with verbal. In verbal, if you're not good with the fundamentals, like if I'm not into the reading part and have been forced that you have to sit and solve one RC of 600 words, it will seem, Are kya okha kaam hai? This will the first line that will come to your mind, right? The point is okha hai, but we have to manage, hai na?
Right.
So for that, I have to make myself habituated that everyday basis, at least not 600 words, but let me start with 100 words. I'm not telling directly jump to 600 words. Start with 100 words, then go to 200, 300, and finally you will see you're comfortable with 600 words. Grammar. If I'm aware about the grammar part, the parts of speech, I will revise. There are so many grammar books in our home. I'm sure everybody have it, right? So what we can do, we can just pick it up, we can solve just to check, okay, let's do a little bit of question from gerund. Let's do a little bit of questions from subject-verb agreement. So automatically, this will be a kind of revision and the fundamentals will be done. The things can be managed. And one thing I will like to add on. So for LR, logical reasoning, we go to gym to build our muscle. In the same way, we solve logical reasoning to build our brain muscle. So more you solve, more you practice, things are more clearer and manageable for you.
Absolutely. So whenever we have a topic of negative marking, because nowadays I think pretty much every exam has negative marking. I don't think there is any exam that does not have negative marking, right? So the thing with negative marking, as I'm already mentioned, is to know your strengths and weaknesses, to know which topics you're good in, which topics you're bad in. So again, it depends on the duration that you're taking for preparation. There are people who prepare for the exam for a year. There are people who take 6 months. There are people who just prepare for the exam in 2 months. There is no definite amount of time that should be prescribed कि हाँ इतना घंटा या इतना time लगाओ तभी आप qualify कर पाओगे. It's not. It depends on the technique. It depends on whether you're being a hard worker or a smart worker. There are a lot of other things as well. Your caliber, your grasping power, and of course your technique of learning. So that is very, very different. But yes, wherever you have negative marking, it's very important that you're self-aware. Self-awareness is extremely important. So let's say that the exam is in May. So let's say till April, starting of the April or mid-April, whatever topics that you've covered, stop learning any new topics, start revising the topics that you've already learned. That means don't try to convert your weaknesses into strengths, rather keep on practicing and making your strengths even better. So during the exam, skip or try not to attempt those questions that fall in your zone of weakness or the topics that you're not really good at. For example, if I talk about myself, I have been a very sucky student when it comes to maths. I can't even tell in words how bad I was in maths, but I was very good at English, right? So I know about my strengths and my weaknesses. So in maths also, let's say I have to appear for maths. So let's take two topics. I have I have geometry and I have quadratic equations. So I know that I'm good at quadratic equations as compared to geometry. So I would automatically try to avoid the questions from geometry and keep my focus on quadratic equations. So this is how you can skip negative marking. Don't attempt the questions that you're not really sure about. Second important thing can be to attempt the exam in rounds, right? Don't try to attempt the entire exam in just one go. Try to solve those questions that fall in your strength zone because you'll be able to do them faster, right? And then in the second go, try to attempt those questions which you think you'll be able to solve, but then it is going to take a little bit of time from your end. And this would come with practice. The more mocks you give, the better it is. In every session that I conduct, I always say, please don't take mocks at the last moment. Try taking mocks from the day that you start preparing. Mocks are extremely important. And don't just appear for mocks, analyze the mocks as well. You need to analyze them. You need to see which questions are you constantly making a mistake in and try to work on that. So analysis, again, are very, very important. Anything else about mocks, ma'am, that you would want to add? Anything that I have missed out?
No, almost everything you have touched. So definitely the flow should be concept, sectional, topic wise. After giving mocks, there can be some situation which ma'am was telling that these are my weaker zone, how to work on it. This question also comes. So there you have to more focus on the sectional or topic wise test, topic wise questions. Try to practice those. Suppose I'm feeling not comfortable with the reading comprehension. So what should be my way of dealing with it? Definitely I have to increase my reading, but only by reading I cannot, work on RC or reading comprehension. So for that, I will make a target that everyday basis, whatever happens to me, I'm going to solve one reading comprehension daily. At the max, suppose I'm not able to solve it correctly, then what? I've tried everything. And then just do a very simple task. Pick up a passage from anywhere, maybe the actuals or from the past previous years or the mocks. One by one, try to write down the summary. If you can write the summary of the passage, that means there is no problem with the comprehending power. The problem is somewhere else. And try to understand there can be various problems. The problem can be time speed. The problem can be accuracy. The problem can be, I'm not aware or I'm not comfortable with the types of the question. So analysis means something which you have to do very nicely. Again, I'm repeating, analysis or mock has to be done very seriously, where you need to find out, you need to go to the metrics, what are actually stopping you from reaching or for increasing your accuracy part. That is a very important task. It can be time management, many things it can be. So you have to find it out.
Right, right. Very rightly said, ma'am. So here we have covered all the sections, whether it is for IPMAT, for IPL, or the IPM program. We have discussed about that. Now let's talk about the course itself. So if I talk about IPL, Integrated Program in Law, which is introduced by IIM Rohtak, it will give you the degree of BBA plus LLB. That means it is an amalgamation of management and law. Right, so that is something that you need to note. Second thing that you should keep in mind is that this course is affiliated and recognized by BCR, that is Bar Council of India. So it's absolutely valid. It is as valid as a general BBLLB course that you would have, because it's a general query. A lot of people think that the course is offered by IIM Rohtak, or these IIMs are not correct or not affiliated or something like that. It's not so. It is properly affiliated. Another important thing that you should know about IPM as well as IPL is, for IPM, like I said, it is an integrated program in management, that is your BBA plus MBA. But in this particular course, you have this advantage that, let's say, after 3 years of your BBA, you want to discontinue your course and you want to pursue your master's from some other B school, you have that opportunity. You can fetch your graduation degree after BBA and then appear for CAT or other entrance tests, and then you can switch your B school. But that is not the privilege that you have as of now for IPL. Once you have enrolled yourself with IIM Rohtak, you will have to continue for the 5 years. You do not have an option of, let's say, discontinuing after 3 years and then doing your master's, or the rest 2 years from somewhere else. That's not how it is going to be. So be very clear about it. That's, I feel, another difference between IPM and IPL, that you cannot discontinue the course after 3 years like you can do it in IPM. Again, for integrated program in management, you need to carry on or maintain a minimum score, minimum CGPA throughout your initial 3 years of graduation. Only then will the designated IIM would allow you to continue your master's from there. Otherwise, they will give you a graduation degree. And for master's, you again will have to appear for various other entrances. So a question that I've received is for GIPMAT. No, the notifications for GIPMAT have not come out as yet. Again, GIPMAT is another entrance test that you have for integrated program in management, the course IPM. There's another entrance test called GIPMAT. Through GIPMAT, you get admission into IIM Bodh Gaya, IIM Jammu, and IIM Ranchi. These are the 3 IIMs that offer this course to you, but the notifications for the same have not come out as yet. We are expecting it to come out probably by the end of February. Let's wait for it. So for now, it has not come out. Now we have another question about placements. So which placements, I think, is a far-fetched thing as of now. Right now, you should focus on clarifying the entrance test. Placement, of course, if you're doing your graduation, if you're doing your education from a good B school, if I talk about management or about law, you will get good placements. But there are a lot of other things related to it, which is yet another episode that we can make on it. So that is a topic for some other day. For now, focus on the entrance test. Decide which entrance test you want to take and then go ahead with it. Right, ma'am? Do you want to add something to it?
Yes, definitely. So when we talk about IPL, there are so many questions of placement you're talking about, or that's popping up. So one thing I must say, that till the data that we have worked on or researched so far, we have come to know that they are providing lots of internship, and those internship are going to help you a lot. Along with that, lots of moot cases are also, moot code exercises will be also done. So that will be helpful for you. Now, one question that comes along with that, so from IPL, after that, what are the avenues open, right? Is it the traditional ones open? So definitely traditional ones are open for you. And keep in mind, it's from Gurugram. So Gurugram is one of the connect where you can easily get connected with the corporates that are there, right? If you want to work anywhere, it can be NGO, it can be any corporates, right? Disputes are everywhere. That's a very simple thing, simple logic, right? So there is nothing like traditional or new. Whatever can be done from the legal side, or by following the legal side, the same can be followed if you opt for IPL. The most important thing is that a suggestion is given that go for more internship, because as you go for more internship now, that gives you clarity that मुझे कौन सा career option चुनना है, मुझे कौन से job role में fit होना है. And there comes the importance of IIM. When you go for IIM, absolutely along with the placements, उसके पहले जो steps है, certification, exercises, internship, those will be given to you so that you can take this important decision of your life very confidently. That will be one addition.
Yeah. And then, of course, ma'am, the exposure really matters when you're studying from IIM. The people that you're associated with, your professors, it gives you a lot of opportunities, if you are one for it, right?
Absolutely. I started with that it's leadership skill. It's getting, knowing the latest trend. That's why we look for IIM.
Right. So we have another query about NMAT. So Narsi Munshi, again, is a very reputed B school. It offers you well as at your postgraduate level as well. So I think the exams, okay, so entrance test conducted at an undergraduate level for NMIMS is NPAT, and I think the exam is already going on. It opens a 75 days window, whether at the UG level or at the PG level, and I think you have 3 attempts for it. So whichever attempt to get the best score, they consider that. So for now, for NPAT, the duration is from 4th of January till 31st of May. I think the registrations are also still open and the exam window is also open. So whenever you feel, as per your board schedule or your other entrance exams, you feel that this day is set for me, you can go ahead and apply for the exam and choose that particular date. At postgraduate level, of course, you have another exam that's called NMAT for the manager, for the master's degree in that. Another thing that you should know about NPAT is the syllabus is pretty much the same. You have quant, you have logical reasoning, you have English. These are the 3 subjects that you have for NPAT as well. The syllabus is pretty much the same. Again, it's a very good B school. You can consider it. You can have it as one of your options. So always remember, guys, don't just put, like you say in English, don't put all your eggs in the same basket in the same way. Please do apply for a lot of exams, a lot of entrances at an undergraduate level, and all of them are open as of now. So please apply to all of them. Apply for CVT, apply for IPMAT, for GIPMAT, for SET, for NPAT. Apply to as many exams as you can. Right, ma'am? Anything else that you'd want to add?
Yeah, I think everything is covered. One thing that we have to check out if we are planning for IIM, that is very, very important, is the general knowledge part. I think we have not touched that area.
I was just about to come to that.
Yeah. So when we talk about general knowledge, there are 2 areas that you have to keep in mind. Try to understand general knowledge is not only current, it's not static. It's a combo of both. So when we talk about static, it means history, geography, general science can be there, environment, ecology, right? And when we talk about the current one, it is art, culture, history, sports, national, international. So you have to be updated, economics, business, right? Especially who are going for management. If you don't know what is going in the business world, what is going in the economic forum, right? What is happening in the budget 2023. So definitely it will be a big problem for you. And it's not that there should be a specific round or specific section for it. As I said, there is personal interview. So to prepare for it, you need to take care of it. Now, one question that I generally get from students, ma'am, syllabus itna vast hai, how to manage? So cope up as much as you can. Daily reading newspaper is very important. If you're not friendly with the offline one, take help from online one. Just download something like InShot, scroll it, okay, while having lunch or while munching something, right? And enjoy it and get updated about the knowledge. You should know what is happening around you. That is something very, very important. Difficult here, but that's saying is there that to have a good view, you have to climb high. So that's how you have to manage.
Yeah, and then we have Bulldoze also. Let's promote a little bit.
So Bulldoze, magazines.
Yeah,
yes, everything are provided.
Yeah. So
we are providing you lots of capsules. It's up to you how you're going to take it, right? I think Vagisha ma'am will agree with me.
Yeah, absolutely, ma'am. So Bulldoze is basically, we have a podcast on Spotify, on iTunes, on every platform where you can get a podcast. So we have it under the name Bulldoze. Apart from that, we also have a magazine under the same name. We have a YouTube session by the same name. So mango, sab kuch hai, everything you
absolutely
have. Yeah.
And the things are done in such a way that you can have weekly magazine, you can have monthly magazine. So you just need to download and you go through at your own space.
Absolutely. So last topic agenda that I'd want to discuss, we've already touched a little bit, but I would want to go in a depth with it because I feel it's very, very important. So for IPMAT, for IPMAT through the IPL and IPM, your aptitude test will be followed by a personal interview, right? So combining both of these, your performance in both of these rounds, will your selection depend, right? So I feel it is very challenging and also very a newer experience for the people at an undergraduate level to appear for an interview, because it is their, for majority of them, it is their first interview of their entire life, right? And not a lot of them do get enough preparation or the right guidance for the same. So PIs are very, very important. IIMs are known for conducting PIs, and VAT, however, you don't have VAT for it. VAT is for cat, right? So, any tips, ma'am, that you would want to give for a personality? Of course, knowing about yourself, knowing general knowledge, current affairs, that's of course important. Apart from that, on a personal level, how do you prepare yourself? How do you get yourself ready that, okay, I'm going to sit in front of panelists, and some tips for that, ma'am, please.
So from school to PI is not a difficult one. Why I will say? Because they are into lots of activities.
Right.
They take parts in debate, they take parts in moot case, they take parts in NMAT show. So many things goes on. So it's not a difficult for them. So first and the foremost, consider this as an activity. Don't consider it as a selection round. But you have to be a little bit serious about this activity, where you have to come forward with lots of assertiveness and conviction. Now, how a thing can be done with conviction, if you know the process, like what are the expected questions? If you have any doubt, talk with your mentor, go for the website or go for the platform from where you're taking help and seek the information, like what are the previous year PI question. So in advance, if you start preparing them, I think it is manageable. And one thing which is very important, PI is something which is a part of public speaking. And in public speaking, everything has to be done in one shot. There is no two shot for it. So for that, you need to prepare, you need to practice a lot. You can take help from your friends, from your parents, and ask them, chalo, let's play one interview. Okay, ask me some question, right? And see how you're answering it, right? Be honest, which is very, very important. There is nothing to put any kind of fake information that can harm your image rather. So just be honest, understand what you have done so far, whatever you have done. Suppose you have taken part as, or you are the prefect of your school, right? So under that, lots of things are there, lots of skills you are already having. Maybe you're not aware. So when you find out, okay, these are the certification already I have taken care of. I'm into social activity. I'm taking care of extracurricular activities. So everything you are into, again, I say from school to PI will not be a difficult, because you're already under so many activities. You are you're ready, right? Which happens become a problem for the college going students. So the point is just with conviction, with assertiveness, with wiseness, which we say astute diction, understand where you're standing, the lags that you have. Maybe you're not good with communication skills. So how you can work on that within the short frame of time. Or maybe you're not good with the content, because content is the king. Or maybe I'm not very much aware about my body language, so I will be taking care of the body language. So that's how one small step will help you to go towards the correct path.
Absolutely, ma'am. You have put it in a very easy way. You made it sound really, really easy. That's great. That's how I think teachers are supposed to be, right? To make it look like a piece of cake. Right. So apart from that, another very important thing about a PI is your resume, right? You are asked, you're cross-questioned a lot basis the things that you've mentioned in your resume. Of course, the resume for an undergraduate would not contain a lot of work experience or anything. It would majorly contain things about you, about your qualifications, about, like I mentioned, co-curricular activities, your involvement in different activities throughout your life, your hobbies, what are your interests, your strengths, your weaknesses. So self-awareness, I feel, is very, very important. Also, at the same time, you need to be very smart. Let's say that in your resume, just to look cool, you mentioned that I'm a cricket fan, that I love watching cricket, or I love doing yoga, I'm very active, and then they cross question you. So show us some asanas, and you are like, what are asanas? What does she talk? So whatever that you're mentioning in a resume, it's very, very important that you have researched about the same. Even so, I have seen that they do ask you about your own city. Let's say that you say that I am from Pune, for example. So they'll ask you, Tell us something about Pune. What is it known for? What are the specialities? So again, your awareness at the same time, your smartness in handling questions is very, very important. Don't be over.
And
Yeah, please.
one more addition that I will put over here, that if you're planning for IIM, don't consider the PI is going to be very light, that they will ask you strength and weakness according to the data research that we have done so far.
Right.
So the question can be difficult, something related with your subject, own subject, right? Some questions can be there, like why Mumbai has been named as Mumbai. Do you know who is the governor of Mumbai? How many districts are there in Maharashtra? So multiple questions can be there. So don't take it lightly also, and don't think it's very difficult, right? Just balance it. Confidence and overconfidence has to be balanced when you come for public speaking.
Right. So I think we also tested for essays. No, Janvi, we do not have any VAT as of now. You have it for CAT, but for here, writing ability test is not around for IPMAT or for IPL as well. You just have an aptitude round followed by an interview round, just these two. And basis this and also other lot of factors, for example, your score in 12th standard and other things also, they compile. And then a final result is made, and then, the calls are out whether you're selected or not. So for now, the essays are not a part of it. Be thankful that they're just 2 rounds as of now. All right, so I think that was all that we had to discuss about IPL, that is Integrated Program in Law. We also tried to cover IPMAT as much as we can, and I hope we were able to answer your queries. So, ma'am, any last thoughts that you'd want to share for time management, because they have their boards and also the entrances एक के बाद एक आए जा रहे हैं, so any parting words, ma'am?
See, first of all, बोर्ड तो कंसंट्रेट करना ही है. अब तो ये प्रूव कर दिया हम लोगों ने ये सेशन में कि बोर्ड इम्पोर्टेंट है ना. सेकंड वाला है कि बोर्ड के साथ कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जामिनेशन यू कैन नॉट इग्नोर. यू हैव टू बी इन दैट पर्टिकुलर जोन वेयर यू आर इन टच for it. At least 1 hour, 2 hours you have to manage. Next thing, if I talk about the time management with the sections, paper wise, it depends कि कितना किसका कितना percentage है. Obviously, अगर quant section का percentage ही 10% है out of all paper, so definitely I'm going to spend 15 to 20 minutes on that. Right, ये तो strategy है. And rest आप कितना आपका क्या strength area है, आप किसको drive करना चाहते हो, that depends, right? So time management is a one decision that you have to take by going for the mocks and checking out case. Like in our platform, we have this facility where you have the complete analysis of a paper. Even we give you the estimated time, how much you are taking and how much should be given. So you need to go for all those analysis in depth. That will be the one suggestion of time management. And the final thing that I will say, that don't be afraid of uncertainty. When nothing is certain, anything is going to happen. So anything is possible. So just stay strong, come forward with conviction, confidence, and don't come forward with half-baked information. I think the rest, Vagisha ma'am will look forward.
All right. Thank you so much, Tamushi ma'am, for your valuable time. It's always a pleasure to have you with us on board, guiding our students. Right.
Welcome.
And guys, I hope you liked this session. I hope you found it informative. Even if you take away 10% of this session, I think our job is done here. Please share this video with as many friends of yours as possible, because sharing is caring. If you liked the session, please press the like button. Subscribe to our channel for any upcoming events, any new videos or sessions or YouTube lives or anything. Right. And I hope we were able to answer all of your questions. Still, if you are somebody who's watching this video later, please feel free to share your doubts in the comment section and we'll answer them. Thank you so much for being with us today. Have a good weekend. Happy Mahashivratri. It's Chutti tomorrow, right? So happy weekend, all of you. And I'll see you in the next session of Big Bull Ki Pathshala with yet another interesting and current topic, and keep you updated. Till then, bye-bye. Have a good day.